Welcome everybody to the to the altered state of the Board of Finance. Good. Okay. Welcome everybody to the July 30th special meeting of the Board of Finance. Welcome to everyone in the room. Thanks for being here. I think I'm going to skip seating of alternates and I'll give us another couple minutes. We have quorum. I think we're good to go. The one thing I wanted to say by way of preface on the under chair comments is that we do have a past 26-27 operations budget for the town and schools, but there's an unknown impact of costs that are supportable but have been removed from or reduced in the budget, and also the flat revenue picture that we have in town that sort of equals a tighter Board of Finance request process. And so we're gonna, I think we're gonna be called upon to focus more carefully on actual costs, tight quotes, understanding that it's really tough with a lot of things in the construction world, especially to get quotes speedily, because a lot of people just don't want to play ball anymore. It's not, they don't feel it's worth their while or something. I don't know. It's just, I just want to mention that because I think it's a tough time that we're in this budget year. We definitely, the selectmen arrived at a short-term or whatever, a holding the spot mill rate so we could get the tax bills out, which has all been done, and that's good, but it's under what the mill rate is for the, for the budget that just passed. So we're going to research how to adjust for that or what to do with that, because this is new ground for us. Frankly, we haven't had the selectmen set the mill rate, I don't know, in the time I've been in town that I recall. So anyway, that's the deal, but it means that we're having to be a little tighter with our processes, because we really don't have any, very much reserve at all to fall back on. So are there any questions about that? Do you? Okay. So I'm going to open it up for present to speak. Public participation is desired and encouraged. Speakers will be limited to time and appropriateness of comments to maintain progress, stay on topic, and employ decorum. This is a time for the public to express their own viewpoints. Please do not attempt to represent those of others. Just the one thing I do want to say is that whenever present to speak, but we're trying to gavel out by 6:45 because our recording secretary needs to cover the school building committee meeting, and we wanted to free up people in the public and also who are here officially, like Mike and Sherry, who might need to go up to that meeting as well. So having said that, is there anyone here to speak? I know you guys are going to speak. Anyone on Zoom who would like to say a few words on any topic or agenda item? Give them a second.
Yeah, can I just make a quick comment?
Sure.
I just wanted to add your comment before about fiscal policy. I'm getting a strange echo.
Are you?
So, yes, I believe your comments are appropriate. And a couple of weeks ago, there actually email conversation started amongst various Stephanie, Capital Improvement Plan Chairman, and the Finance Office to be prepared for the upcoming budget season, and with a mind on more detailed process as well as more open process for the public, finding ways to make it easier for the public to understand our budget process. But most important for tonight, a careful budget process, because as Stephanie pointed out, we are the tightest that I've ever experienced on fund balances and buffer money and all that stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you say who you were? Mike McCoo, First Selectman?
Yeah, I am delighted to introduce myself.
Okay. Anyone else present to speak? Okay, well, we're moving right along then. So I have the first agenda item is to review the referendum results and next steps. I think we kind of just went over that. Were there any questions about, you know, that the fact that we're not really having an action step tonight? Yes.
Will there come a time where we need to do a supplemental?
I think so, because there's a situation that the mill rate that selectmen set was 26.30,
Yeah.
and the budget would have required 26.49, so it's like under 0.2 cents of a mill. So it's, you know, a little bit of microfinance, but enough so that it will make a difference. There'll be a lag in terms of revenue on a low revenue at a time when our revenue is at a nadir. So, but we just you know, legally and statutorily want to make sure that we touch all the bases and are making the smartest decision there.
But is that something we would do in like January, or is it more like September?
I think it's something we would do sooner, but it probably, I guess you're touching on one of the decisions may be, do you do augmenting bills more immediately?
Yeah.
Or do you wait until the second half, or, you know, what's less confusing? What's better for, you know, we are also, you know, there's a lot of complications, like we have a tax collector who has resigned to go to another position, a position in another town. So we have that office open as a full-time office right now. You know, we're just making sure we're doing this right. Did you have other questions?
Yeah, no.
Am I answering them, or?
No, that was mostly it.
Mike brought it up in this, he left it sort of vague, like, you know, may or may not have to review all the,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
we're
guess
gonna look at the legal procedures.
sending out
Right.
another set is the bill is going to cost money in and of itself to do.
Well,
Yes.
you gotta pay your business.
And yeah, that's
Right.
exactly right.
Right, and then
So,
maybe some favorables will happen, maybe a couple people don't take insurance, but then maybe there's another outplacement. Like
right.
some,
Like,
waiting a little bit just to see how the cards fall.
yeah, I think
Um,
whatever gap there may be, obviously, if there was another outplacement, that would be a serious
Yeah,
shortfall
yeah,
to have to work on, to have to deal with both. Yeah, I couldn't, just made sure it was in your packet, Mike's memo to me and to town, CCing me and the town staff, laying out what the budget update is, system update. Sherry, do you want to add anything as business manager?
Not really. I think you covered it pretty well. Yeah, there's just, want to make sure we cross our i's and dot our t's.
yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't he discuss this with the town attorney to see how to proceed?
That's, I think,
Yeah.
one of the steps being taken,
Yeah.
but that takes time, so.
And money.
And
Yeah.
time and money,
That too.
yeah.
Yep.
Went the wrong way there. You guys ready for item 2?
I think so.
Okay, Chief Moore,
If you don't mind, I'm going to
take
share
it
my
away.
screen. Maybe.
I'm gonna use my
There we
handy dandy notebook.
All right. First, thank you guys for meeting and allowing us to present this to you. So as most know, those that have followed along with the CIP plan or sit on the CIP committee, one of the projects Wellington 1 has had for the last 2 or 3 years on the plan was a refurbishment of Squad 113, which is the truck you can see on the screen. When we first submitted this plan to have it refurbed, we thought that what the truck needed would fit well within the $250,000. By the time we actually got to get quotes and do start working on the refurb, that price number just isn't there. It's above what, the original quote that we got is above the $250,000 that was allocated through Fund 17 for the project. And the work is more substantial than what we were anticipating. We knew we would need pump work, not exactly the amount of pump work that is being forecasted at this point, and that's only if the amount of pump work that they're talking about is if everything goes well when they pull it out and they don't find something else damaged, which would drive the cost up even more. One of the other things, and I'll just go through this, so this is the current squad. It's a 2003 Freightliner Darley. It's a 15 gallon per minute pump with a compressed air foam system, carries 600 gallons of water, 75 gallons of foam, seating for 3 firefighters. It really is our all-in-one toolbox. Response to all motor vehicle accidents, fire-related calls within the town. And for the last 23 years, it has really been one of the busiest frontline pieces of apparatus. It's been, having the paid staff for multiple incidents. The first truck there that's either fought house fires, car accidents, and such. Over the last few years, we've definitely seen a large increase in the repairs. I think last year's was up over $8,000. And just regular maintenance on that truck alone. Current quote to refurbish the truck was $294,000. It needs frame rails, which means they've got to take the body off of it again. And I say again, about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, that body had to come off and have the subframe replaced. That work was done under as a capital emergency project. Because it was not something that was caught until the DOT inspection. We couldn't see it until you climbed up into the body and found it. But that work was done for about $40,000. When it had its DOT inspection this year, they found that the frame rails need to be replaced. That was not even noted on their report last year. This truck does get an annual DOT and pump inspection. With the way the pump is this year, the company did not feel safe doing the pump test in fear of it not performing. And they did not want to make the pump worse doing the test. So it needs a pump rebuild, lighting upgrades. We've only been able to get one company to actually bid on the project. We've contacted 4 or 5. Only one of them will give us a price. They took the truck for a week, went through top to bottom. The only thing they did not do was tear the pump out. And this is what they came with, the $294,000. Everybody else that we've talked to doesn't want to do it. Either they don't want to because it's a plastic body, or because of the amount of work and the amount of time it's going to take. Having to take for a local company like our normal mechanic, to take the body off of this truck is a very labor-intensive project. So the company that they quoted stated it would be 8 months to a year to complete the project. So they would have to do frame rails one at a time. They'd take the body off, the cab would stay, and they'd unbolt half of it, slide one out, and lock it up to keep the cab on it, and then send that off to get a new one and slide it under, and do the same on the other side.
Just curious, do you know what that was as a new vehicle? What the cost was?
I don't. It was well before my time.
Okay, was
I'm
plastic a trend in 2003?
It was because of the amount of equipment and the way we were able to design the compartments was it really was it wasn't a demo, but it was a new spec that they built. It was a new body type that they had designed by Darley. And it really has held up. The body itself holds up very well. The original thought was that body would be able to just go onto a new chassis, kind of like we did with the ambulance. So, in a perfect world, that's what we would do. Except the price to do that is almost as much to buy a new truck as it is to do this. So it's not advantageous right now for us to do that.
Thanks.
So this is just a couple of pictures of the current equipment, air packs, and what it carries. So moving on, the committee worked on trying to find a truck that would be suitable to the needs of the town and the department. And we're able to find a 2009 Spartan which is the same cab and chassis that, same cab, and manufacturer that made our last truck, DT-113. This truck is out of Illinois. It's a 2009. This is just a couple of pictures of it, and I'll go over the highlights of it. So it is a 2009 Crimson Spartan Rescue Pumper. Highlights of it is a 2,000 gallon per minute pump, so it'll pump 500 gallons more than our current truck per minute. 750 gallons, so it carries a little bit more water, and it has a big motor to be able to pull the hills in town. Has a Harrison 10 kW generator. It does advance some of our rescue capabilities of having winch accessibility all the way around the truck. Ours does not do that currently. Automatic tire change for the winter, increased storage design, and designated medical cabinets away from the firefighting gear. Currently, our medical gear in the current truck stays in the same compartment as the fire stuff. This actually has a separated section just for medical gear away from the fire equipment.
Makes sense.
Has a deck gun and seating for 6 firefighters. Reasons for the replacement, increased our capability a little bit, larger pump, amount of water. It does have more storage than our current truck, not that we're looking to go out and fill every inch of this with new equipment. We're not looking to do that, we're looking to keep what we have from the old truck onto this one. This will allow less downtime than refurbing the current truck. The current truck is out of service, it is sitting in Public Works. We're using the 1981 in its place. It allows us to, as of right now, what we had figured was reduce the overall cost of the project by $25,000. It does align with the apparatus needed in the town based off the Fitch Group study. This was one of the trucks that in their study, they didn't, we need to continue the replacement process. Equipment needed, most of the equipment we do have, it's all transferable. We do have to have the truck lettered. They're what they call chevrons in the back of the truck. They do need to be fixed. There's some that are peeling, so that has to be fixed. Radio work and install, I don't have a firm quote because they need to see the truck of what's there, what's not there. We put a ballpark number in there of what they gave us. We think it'll be under that, not over it. We do have to do a little bit of modification to the hose bed, just for suction hoses and stuff to fit, which we think, talking with Mike and hopefully Troy, we should be able to do at Public Works as long as we get a loader. And then we need to upgrade the lighting to meet the state standards. Currently the truck is all red and blue. State of Connecticut, red and blue is state police. We're allowed to run blue on the back of the truck, not anywhere in the front. So we have to switch some of the lighting out to red and blue. So the cost breakdown, the purchase of the truck is $175,000. It initially was at $205,000. It's down to $175,000. The vehicle transport is updated from what you guys have in your packet, $4,992. I think I put in there originally $8,000 just because that was what the average was when you look at their site of transportation. But once we finally got them to give us a hard quote, it was the $4,992. Radio equipment, again, that is a ballpark figure until they can actually see the truck. Lettering and graphics, we're pretty sure that's right around where it needs to be. Just because of having to fix the chevrons on the back. Hose bed modification, this was if we can't do it with help of Public Works, of sending to somebody to get it modified. The suction hose we need, that's how we pull water out of ponds, what we call dry hydrants, which we have all over town. And the lighting is about $8,000. The miscellaneous was really just mounting stuff, just not knowing until the truck's here what we need.
So it's a ballpark too?
That is a ballpark figure. We won't go above that 225. I think we'll still be under the 225. I'm just not comfortable saying exactly right where we will be because of a couple of the estimates I can't get to a trucker here. When you talk to the vendor and say, I'm not gonna go over 10,000 or, what's my ballpark, then I think we'll be fine with what we have.
Okay, questions, folks?
So all these prices, they're pretty firm, you know?
I'm close. The lighting, I know I'm close. Miscellaneous equipment and mounting, I think will come down substantially. Until the truck's here and know exactly where everything's going.
There's potential to save another 5,500 with the hose bed.
Yep. So like I said, there's a chance that this could be 210, 205 by the time we're done. That would be my hope. I just, without the truck being here and actually having the people that are gonna mount it, look at it, it's so hard to tell that.
And that's the absolute best price on the truck itself.
Yeah, 170, yeah, it was at 205. We're not having below 175.
And the refurb was going up to almost 300
Almost
grand
300 grand.
from 250 that
Correct.
top, that's a lot in
Yeah,
the project.
Yeah, when we did the numbers, I still think, and I think that 250 number was there when we originally put the truck on the plan 2 or 3 years ago. So, may have raised it once, but, yeah.
I think we thought the refurb was gonna last for 10 years, is that right?
That was the hope,
How long do we think this will last for?
at least 10 if not more.
Okay.
It's a 2009, it's longer than,
17 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 17
It's
years
already
old,
kinda
we're
old.
hoping to get 30 years out of it. That's our game plan with all of our trucks right
I
now.
mean, in truck
At
years,
least
that's a
30 years.
baby.
I drive old things.
Listen, our 81 does very well, but the newer trucks are not as good as the older ones.
The current truck has the foam system.
Yep.
The new one doesn't have that on it. Is that something that you guys are gonna need in the future, or is
We're
that
not concerned about it with the other truck having it. Our big ET has the foam system.
Okay,
It'd be nice to have, with the cost, we're not doing it.
okay.
So does Wellington Hill have a comparable truck?
They have a rescue truck, they don't have a rescue, what we call a squad, it's a rescue pumper, so it does both. And that's really designed, why we have it, is that 2 people can get in it and they can do fire and extrication. When it goes to a motor vehicle accident, it's got water, rescue tools, and such, and that's,
So what can't Wellington Hill?
they don't have a pump or water on theirs.
Okay.
So they have a separate truck that's
They have a
pumper water.
Correct.
Okay.
Is the foam mainly for like gasoline fire or something like that?
Yeah, so this still has foam on it, and it's just not the compressed air foam system, so they're 2 different systems. This still has a foam system, but it's not integrated through like we do with our other truck. So it doesn't have the compressed air behind it. It doesn't have another air compressor that injects it into the line. It's done through a different inductor. And that's what 95% of the fire departments in the world do, is through this other inductor, not through the CAF system.
And do we still have an emergency services efficiency committee?
We do not.
We do not.
We have not met.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask if we did, if they would recommend this.
So I know I have talked to Chief Snyder. I've sent him, he's received everything that Steph and Mike has received. We did discuss it, and my opinion was he was on board. I don't want to speak for him. He's not here. I don't know if Mike has had any conversations with him. If Mike is willing to chime in on that.
I mean, it would be nice to have him here to discuss this because he is the other fire department.
Mike,
See what the capabilities are.
Yeah,
do you have something to say about that?
I would concur with what the chief said. I've had some general conversations with Chief Snyder about it, and I think he, myself, and Chief Moore all agree that this is one of the trucks in the overall town fleet of trucks. It was intended to continue to be replaced, even with the fifth study, considering the possibility of reducing the fleet size. This would be one of the trucks and sort of purposes that would continue even in a reduced fleet size. And I think this is sort of a good opportunity to get a somewhat newer truck, reasonable price, stay within budget, potentially have a little money left over to go back into Fund 17 for other fire service purposes. So I think the purchase makes sense, and it's definitely not in conflict with anything we've worked on. And just to comment on the efficiency committee, that committee got terminated right before I came into office. And I have only had the opportunity so far to replace it by keeping in regular touch with the 2 fire chiefs. And because we have so much else going on in so many other meetings, I haven't endeavored to decide whether we should get another efficiency committee going. I've just been sort of manually keeping in contact with the 2 fire chiefs to coordinate.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, thanks.
Are there other questions from the board, Eric?
Yeah, I do. Is Squad 113 currently out of service?
It is,
For what purpose?
because of the pump,
Okay.
because they can't get it pump tested. So we're using 1981 in its
Okay.
place.
So you're not allowed to use it without that test? Is that?
We did
even
not.
an emergency?
Huh?
Even an emergency, it couldn't be used.
I'm not signing my name on it if it's not certified.
And they felt like it was gonna go, it could just
There was
fall
able
apart
reasons
if they
not to test
tested
that.
it.
Yeah, there
That's
was
not a
enough-
good sign,
We did get it so that it's safe to drive on the road.
yeah.
The DOT inspection was done, so it's safe to drive. It's the pump and that part of it we cannot use right now. If they did not certify that, it is not. Yeah. And we did not think it was financially responsible to put money into doing that, to fix it.
And the 1981's just hanging around in your fleet, but you don't use it that much, or what?
But that's what we use as it's
For
supposed to be.
backup.
Yeah, it's the backup, and that's what, it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. But it's a 1981 that doesn't have compartments just to fit rescue equipment. So,
Okay. Other questions? So, you know, you heard my preface, and it's just, it's partly for you guys because you're the first to come in
Yep.
with something. But it's not anything that you're gonna feel singled out about if you watch the budget, the Board of Finance a year ahead of us. I'm afraid it's gonna be kind of the new normal. I'm wondering, and I'm thinking it makes sense to do this in pieces, but since some of the numbers are pretty fuzzy and already you got the delivery cut down by, almost half, not quite. And so I'm prepared to make a motion for discussion by the board to follow through with the 175 purchase price plus the 5,000 for the delivery.
Okay.
Because it's something that that would have to go to town meeting.
Yes.
It's changing, and we should talk about that a little bit.
Yep.
It's changing
it's changing the plan.
it's changing the name of the project and the purpose of the project, but not by much. Just the fact that it was an original refurb, it's now
Right.
purchase.
Yep.
Yeah, and then deal with the remaining costs as they come in. Here's what I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion and see if it gets a second. To ask the Board of Selectmen to ask if the town people will, on the recommendation of the Board of Finance, reallocate the $275,000 funding from the project that's, quote, Squad 113 refurbishment, unquote, to, quote, Squad 113 replacement, unquote, with the following costs: used apparatus purchase and transport, $180,000, with the remaining $70,000 to be used for upfit or for other town emergency services purposes only by subsequent approval of the Board of Finance. Is there a second? You guys want me to read that again?
I'll second it.
Second from Walter. Do you need me to read that again or go into what that's? So basically, well, first of all, when the town funds are used to purchase a vehicle, it is town property ultimately. So I want to clarify with you up front that Alex, and I think you already do this, but invoices, with vendor info should go directly to the finance department.
Yep.
So that checks can go directly from the town to the vendors without delay or speedily. And, that provides a clarity that town funds paid for the project.
Yep.
Instead
Yeah,
of
we
like the
have,
fire department being a pass-through, I know
Oh, yeah,
that's
we
been
don't want
done, yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah, and we don't either. We may be on the same page. Anyway, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion about that idea? Anyone doesn't understand it or needs it reiterated? Okay, I don't think we need to do a roll call vote then. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
I'm opposed.
And abstentions? Okay, motion passes
Thank you.
5-1. Yeah, sorry. My math's not good today. I'm glad we're not doing mill rates. Okay, yes,
Could you just, if you could take a moment after the meeting, send an email to that effect to me for the Board of Selectmen? I have it on the agenda for Monday night as a possible, but this will make it an actual.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, just, like you need it like immediately or, yeah,
No,
sure.
no, no. I just want record that you made the request to the Board of Selectmen. Thank you.
Surely. Okay. Well, I am going to, thank you. I appreciate the work you did on that presentation. You always give us a lot of information, and you guys always have the institutional knowledge of the details and that we're most curious about. So I appreciate that. I guess under good and welfare, I'm just going to say that the regular 4-month budget process is, some say, already a marathon. But this year the finish line tape kept moving to a greater distance. So I want to thank you all for your constructive ideas and your athleticism, and also members of the public who have shown us the same thing. Because it's definitely been an endurance run, and it's really hard when you're thinking you're at the finish line and the tape keeps moving. I mean, that's just, I don't know. Let's see, what time is it? Well, we have a couple of minutes. If anyone has a present to speak they would like to do at this point before we adjourn, we've got about 10 minutes. I'm going to ask for anyone online. And you guys want to say anything that you're...
No, just thank you for doing that. We just need to move ahead. They do have a buyer who will buy that truck sight unseen, so we have a tight schedule in which to get it.
Do you want to identify yourself?
I'm sorry, Ron Gantick. I'm president of the Lincoln Fire Department, 238 Village Hill Road.
Thank you.
So we have to move quickly. And this is the right fit. The committee did their job and did their research. They had one truck that they looked at, but it was severely underpowered for the hills of Wellington. So.
We got some hills, don't
Yes,
we?
so we have to take that into consideration.
How much is a brand new truck?
To replace that truck brand new?
Yeah.
1.4.
Okay, that's what I thought it was gonna be more than that.
Rough.
Yeah, Talon just bought one. Huh? Talon just bought one.
You had to say that.
In 4, yeah. 1.4 in 4 years.
Alex is feeling good for a minute. Okay, last call. Thank you very much, everybody. I see no reason not to adjourn. Great.
Is the next meeting is down here still?
It's upstairs. It's upstairs, yeah, I think they want
You're
it.
too tiny.
Wait a second. Milk and sugar hot coffee.
You guys ready to pass your
All right.